Didn't land with you. Land with a lot of other people. Now, we can do this. Should I go to the White House? Who wouldn't take that offer up, please? It's it's a private dinner with the president. Just stop it. Secondly, when I come back, should I lie about it? I didn't. Many times as I
wouldn't take that. I could not have taken that invitation.
Yeah, that's you.
But that's the thing. It's totally convincing.
But I honestly feel like your position is not someone who wants to actually make the country better. It's someone who just wants to wallow in Trump hate.
Bill Maher put Sam Harris on blast for being so consumed with Orange Man Bad Syndrome, also known as TDS. Just watch.
There was one thing that was genuinely confusing about your summary of the dinner, right? Which I can see why you got the backlash, and because there was a very bright, shiny object in what you said that you didn't seem to see, you didn't anticipate it was going to have the effect it had, which is when you said, listen, I've met the man behind closed doors. He's not crazy the way you think. He's not who you think he is, right?
I can give you the exact quote because I wrote it.
Yeah, go for it.
A crazy person doesn't live in the White House.
Right.
A person who plays a crazy person on TV lives in the White House.
Right.
And I'm not the only one to have said that.
Yeah, exactly. But and it's not clear whether the subtext of what you were saying was this is less scary. But the
to me it is.
Right. But the way it landed with your audience, or much of your audience, is I'm not sure that's not more scary or more evil.
But but again, I could read you the exact words. I can't. No, it's not my responsibility if I say words and it doesn't register.
That's why I'm saying this.
People are too emotional about it, so it doesn't land in. I said a number because I just reread it because you were coming here.
Yeah.
I said a number of times, I'm just reporting this.
Sam Harris thinks of himself as an intellectual. Yeah, he's confused by Bill's summary of his dinner with the president. What's so confusing about it? He shared his experience and wasn't biased. But maybe that's the part that confuses him. He probably looks at Bill like, hey, you're supposed to be on our side, not over there having dinner with the bad orange man. And you're definitely not supposed to be saying nice things about him. But I guess people like Sam are so consumed with TDS that they can't think outside of their liberal bubble. And how does he know how this landed with Bill's audience?
What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a... So, no, I didn't go MAGA. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. A crazy person doesn't live in the White House. A person who plays a crazy person on TV a lot lives there, which I know is up. It's just not as up as I thought it was. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course. Who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public. Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this? I know, your mind is blown, so's mine. There were so many moments when I hit him with a joke or contradicted something, and no problem. I told him he was wrong when he tweeted the night before that I was critical of all things Trump. Not true. Check the tapes. The border did need to be controlled. I'm glad the cops are getting their morale back. DEI had gone too far. Biological men shouldn't be playing women's sports. Europe should pay for their defense. And of course, it makes sense that Arab countries should take in Arab refugees. He didn't get mad or call me a left-wing lunatic. He took it in. I never felt I had to walk on eggshells around him. And honestly, I voted for Clinton and Obama, but I would never feel comfortable talking to them the way I was able to talk with Donald Trump. Me, I feel it's emblematic of why the Democrats are so unpopular these days. So MAGA fans, don't worry. Your boy gave me nothing. Just hats. Hats and a very generous amount of time and a willingness to listen and accept me as a possible friend, even though I'm not MAGA, which was the point of the dinner. And he said, you know, I've heard from a lot of people who really like that we're having this dinner. Not all, but a lot. And I said, same. A lot of people told me they loved it, but not all. And we agreed. The people who don't even want us to talk, we don't like you. I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it, which he did. That's my report. You can hate me for it, but I'm not a liar. Trump was gracious and measured, and why he isn't that in other settings, I don't know, and I can't answer, and it's not my place to answer. I'm just telling you what I saw, and I wasn't high.
Why does it seem like Bill Maher is the only adult in Democrat media? It seems like he's one of the only ones open to dialogue. Meanwhile, everyone else is on the anti-Trump train at full speed ahead.
I get it.
I didn't let him off the hook, even then, with the things I don't like that he does. But I just said, I'm just reporting this. You make of this what you will. What I'm not going to do is lie and say I met Shrek at the White House. I didn't, and I'm fully aware that one of these is an act, if not both. I don't know what goes on in his mind. I mean, plainly, I've said it a million times, I think he has a case of malignant narcissism. If I was doing a Shakespearean drama about this, I would, where a tragedy always includes the idea that the main character has a tragic flaw. Hamlet couldn't make up his mind. Trump's tragic flaw is he cannot take criticism, which is a terrible flaw in politics. So anytime you hear something that's anything less than flattery, it's going to be a problem. And yet, on this night in private, that was not the case. Now, we can do this. Should I go to the White House? Who wouldn't take that offer up, please? It's it's a private dinner with the president. Just stop it. Secondly, when I come back, should I lie about it? I didn't. Many times
honestly,
as
I wouldn't take that. I could not have taken that invitation.
Yeah, that's you.
But that's the thing. It's like it's not. I completely understand why you went. I mean, it's totally convincing.
But I honestly feel like your position is not someone who wants to actually make the country better. It's someone who just wants to wallow in Trump hate, which is fun to wallow in.
You know I want to make the country better, and I'm not wallowing in anything. What I'm seeing is the possibility of that errand backfiring. Right?
How?
Well, the way it backfired in your case.
Now, this is the part I have a problem with. Bill had dinner with the president, shared his experience, and admitted that he had a newfound respect for the president. I just feel like he should have left it at that. But instead, for some reason, he feels the need to explain himself. And this isn't the first time Mars felt the need to defend his dinner with the president.
Your shot, doing nothing, not engaging, has zero chance.
Yeah.
Mine, this guy, I'm telling you, I know this cat a lot better than I did before. He's a people person. He talks to people. You have to keep the lines open. The stupidest thing the left does, and this dinner is a perfect example of it, is having this attitude toward the right that we won't even break bread with you. Yeah. We are so far above you that we won't even sit down at the same table with you.
Look,
that is their attitude, and that makes me sick too. I'm glad I break bread, and by that what makes them hate the left so much. They think that they're deplorables. We're deplorables, and you won't even sit down to dinner with us. Well, good luck. See how far that gets you.
Maher makes a good point. At the end of the day, communication is key. But unfortunately, many on the left are incapable of civil discourse, open dialogue, or even friendly debate. Everything has to be centered around emotional outrage based on how they feel instead of reality.
I mean, it backfired. Well, talk about the aftermath. I mean, he's now attacking you for having come.
Proving my point that I never pulled a punch, never stopped doing my job. There was never a deal on the table that
But what was accomplished? Was anything accomplished? It just seems like a lot of pain.
It was. Look, I don't read my social media. So, I mean, I know you gave up that, which is
That's good.
a big part of your life. I was never there.
Right.
So, pain, all I hear is when I go out in public, I walk into a restaurant and 20 people come up to me and say, thank God for you and for keeping it down the middle and for being honest to both sides. No, I know there are people probably sitting in that restaurant thinking, oh, there's the asshole who had dinner with Trump. And I know in this town, the super woke show business community, like most of them don't like me for that but I don't feel like that is a sophisticated position that I have to respect.
Sam says nothing was accomplished but a lot of pain. Seriously? I think something very important was accomplished. First and foremost, Bill was able to see firsthand that everything he was told about Donald Trump was a lie. And then on top of that, which this, in my opinion, is probably what really has Sam so confused, is not only did Bill realize it was all a lie, but he was able to share that information with his audience. And he also got his insult sheet signed by Donald Trump, which Bill claims is his prized possession.
Again, that's not sophisticated, but I mean, I'll grant, there's no one who should be angry at you for doing that. The fact that you did it is totally understandable. I'm just saying that it was like, I mean, honestly, this is like a jump ball situation. It's not clear to me what should or could happen here. But my intuition is there's no, just for me personally, it's completely foreseeable that would be a failed project, and I would come back in my recounting of it would be, of course I was charmed by the guy. He's normal behind closed doors. He's a great host. You know, his vibes were surprisingly good. Communicating all of that. The reason why none of that lands the way you might think is.
Didn't land with you. Land with a lot of other people.
Well, I'm talking about the blowback.
It didn't land with the Hollywood community.
Right.
That's a very small sliver. I promise you, I walk with this face in public. I hear what people say. It landed with a lot of people, even in this woke town.
It absolutely landed with a lot of people, but obviously not Sam. And at least Bill called him out on it. But am I the only one who feels like Sam is just a little bit jealous of Bill? Jealous that Bill Maher, of all people, got to sit down with the President of the United States and share a meal and laughs together? Just think about what a privilege that is. And then for Sam to have to sit there and hear this guy boast about how wonderful it was, all while in his head he probably believes he's way more intellectual than Bill, yet he never got an invite to the White House. Who knows, maybe I'm reaching. I just get this vibe that his ego is hurt because Bill went to dinner with someone he doesn't know but hates for no logical reason.
So, all right. Well, it wasn't about the fact that he's charming. It's about the fact that I was able to have a human conversation with him without the bluster, without the "how dare you" or what we're back to.
Okay, but how
calling me a jerk.
Do you think you had a human conversation with him, given the way he's spun the conversation since?
No, but he. First of all, again, we have been in communication since then. This is a year later. Right. So for a year, instead of just trading insults publicly, you know, that thing I have up there with all the insults that he signed, my prized possession, instead of that, there was a dialogue. Dialogue is always better. And, you know, as long as there's a spark of a chance that you can reach the part of him that's at least listening or reasonable, or I mean, people have done it. He was going to send troops to San Francisco, and the mayor talked to him instead of just holding up a sign that said Trump. Like, that's doing anything? To me, it's just childish. If you think that is what is the, I'm not saying you are the person, but Katie Porter held up a sign of Trump, and people cheer, and you saw Jasmine Crockett just lost the primary in Texas. That tells me people are not on that page. They threw her out for a Democrat who's on the page of let's just work together, do what we can, do our best with a guy who's not easy to talk to, but not impossible. Right. Okay. Not impossible, and talking is better.
Well, let's take
the other side has absolutely no upside.
Okay, but
none.
Bill hit the nail on the head by saying Trump is human. That's something so many on the left can't stand to hear. And they definitely don't want that information getting out to the public. I think that's their biggest fear, because it normalizes Trump. And that they just can't have. And anyone who doesn't understand why Maher went to the White House to have dinner with the President of the United States, and not only did so eagerly, but also reported back to his audience his experience, his opinions, and most importantly, facts, is part of the problem, not Bill. Bill's problem is that no matter what he thinks of Trump, he'll still remain a liberal. But at least he realizes that they'll never accomplish anything without key word here, communicating their grievances. He understands that communication is key, no matter how much you disagree with someone politically. But unfortunately, Sam doesn't feel the same way and would prefer abstinence over communication. Saying it's a no-win situation means that Sam isn't even willing to see where it goes, because in his mind, he's just so sure about Trump. But in reality, his stance on Trump is a textbook case of TDS. He basically judges Trump based on what he sees in the media. And because of that, he feels completely certain about who Trump is, without ever needing to meet him personally. So when he says he couldn't have done that, had dinner with the president, he's basically saying it's best we don't communicate, which I think is absolutely ridiculous, because Bill is right. Who wouldn't want to have dinner with the president of the United States, whether you like him or not? It's dinner at the White House with the president of the United States, the ruler of not only the free world, but the greatest country in the world, not the drive-thru at McDonald's. Sam acts as if he's so deep and enlightened, but he's literally just repeating the same talking points as everyone else on the left, besides Bill, word for word. He's not even listening to Bill. He's just waiting for Bill to shut up long enough to express his hate for the president. And I think this clip just goes to show how truly deranged these people are. It's like their entire worldview has been compromised because of one man's success. It's like they've lost all their values and no longer have any moral compass whatsoever, all because of Donald J. Trump. But they loved him on Apprentice. And I also think Bill needs to stop trying to justify probably one of the most memorable nights of his life. He should stand on his word and tell anyone who can't handle it to kick rocks with no socks. But that's just my opinion. I would love to know what you thought of this in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.